everybody. Good evening. Carrie Ann Stimson here, Chief Marketing Officer. Jamaica. Welcome. How is everybody doing? Thanks for joining. We have a fantastic. We're gonna talk some serious things then because trust me, it's about the money mindset. People think that when we talk about investing and wealth creation, we just need to know what the hot tips are, what the hot stocks are, and when to buy and when to sell, and then we're good. And yes, while that is important and it has its place, your mindset, your attitude, your relationship to money is what makes the difference. And if you listen to all the wealthy people of the world, from the Michael Leachins to the Warren Buffett, and you listen to them and you understand their thought pattern and how they think about money, how they see money, how they value money, and their overall attitude and mindset to money, it's a key part of their success. And of course, we not going to hog up the knowledge as JMMB, right? Yes, we are a financial institution, but we are all about standing for people's best interests. That's why we do what we do. We said we're going to break it down and let people know all about. And I have two fantabulous speakers here this evening. I tell you, these ladies know them thing. They're putting their requests. I'm gonna go ahead and accept and approve them right now so they can join in as speakers. And they're gonna be fantastic, trust me. And we're talking about none other than, let me introduce the guest first, although she really is an honorary member of the JMMB family because she used to be a part of the JMMB team until she decided to go off and do other things, has done fantabulous things, and is now what I would like to say living part of her dream, which is to turn around and share the knowledge that she has gained over the years in the form of her own business as an entrepreneur. And I know she'll tell you more about that. But she's none other than Keisha Bailey. What's up, Keisha?
Hello, everyone, and my JMMB family.
What up?
I
What
am
up?
so happy to be here. I am so happy to be here. I love that intro. I love it. Love it.
It-
Uh,
Keisha, let me tell
very
you, we're so happy to have you on this conversation. We know you're going to drop some awesome nuggets for us tonight as well. But could you just level set and start out for us? Let us know a little bit about who you are. For those of you who are not in the know, it's okay. We get to meet Keisha for the first time. Some of you know Keisha already and what she does. So Keisha, gonna ask you to just introduce yourself to our listeners and tell us about who you are and what you do.
absolutely okay. So I am Keisha Bailey. I have been in the financial sector for a long time, 18 plus years, but I'm still young, fresh, and green.
Yes, girl.
Started very young. So I didn't grow up with money, but for me, learning about investing has really created a lot of opportunities for me. And the more I learned about investing and study other people who are wealthy and what they do, it allowed me to change some of the habits I have, changed my mindset. I started also investing for myself and was able to build wealth for myself that way. I also went overseas for a while. I was with JMMB, loved being there, absolutely love it to the bone, and left very sadly to go overseas, but to learn now about international investing. And I took that knowledge, and these days I am teaching persons how to invest so they too can create wealth and open opportunities for themselves and for their family. And, just to invest so that you can have that additional income so that your money can grow better. So that's me these days. They call me Keisha the teacher in the internet streets of it all. I've really come to be known as Keisha the teacher. So very excited to be here to continue to just share in that discussion. I absolutely love JMMB because JMMB is near and dear to my heart, and our passion and our missions are aligned to make sure that clients are educated and clients can live their best life. So I'm always
Awesome.
happy to be here.
Awesome. And the name of your entity right now, Keisha,
Right.
is
Profit Jump Starter. Profit.
Profit
w-
Jumpstarter.
Yeah. So jump starting profits in your life.
All
teaching you
right.
how to do that. So you guys can find me anywhere, Profit Jumpstarter, and connect with me there.
Yeah, man. Instagram, Twitter, right? For sure.
Instagram, Twitter,
Um,
Facebook, website, YouTube
everything.
these days, all of the platforms out there sharing the knowledge that I have and pushing everyone to implement the
Yeah,
knowledge.
man. And if for those of you who follow Kalila's programs
Right.
as well, you're a regular guest on
I'm
those as well.
taking
So I
part.
know
Yes.
enough people know you, but it's all good. We have a few people meeting you for the first time, and we love you too. So thanks for joining, Keisha.
Happy to
And then,
be
of
here.
course, we have a regular on these kinds of discussions with JMMB because she is, Lord, I think she's been with JMMB for so long now. Well, certainly more years than I've been at JMMB, which is like 10 years now for me. So I know she's well rooted, but she also has a personal passion as well for educating people. So I'm going to introduce her. She is none other than the Michelle Sinclair Doyley. Hey, Michelle. How you doing? I think you're still okay. Oh, it's a connecting. So it looked like the interwebs giving us a little challenge this evening. And folks, we know it go. Internet sometimes connectivity issues depending on who you are and who is serving you will give a challenge. So it's all good when Michelle is able to join back in and we can see her, hear her, and connect with her. We will definitely bring her back into the fold. So let's just jump right into it, guys. So again, guys, yes, no, note this session is being recorded. So if there's anything that you miss or you can't stay the whole time, or you said, Chummy Bridget or my sister need to be here, but them baby feeding right now and they can't join, don't worry. We're recording this session and we're going to make the recording available right as soon as we're done here. And we also eventually put it up on YouTube. Here's Michelle. Let's bring back in Michelle. So don't worry, folks. This session is being recorded. And Michelle, I think, is back now. Oops. Well, here she is. Hi, Michelle. You're muted now. I don't know if it's your mute button that's giving you a challenge. Or is it connectivity? Boy, I tell you, Murphy's Law sometimes can really catch us. But as I said, guys, we're talking about money mindset, right? We're talking about our money mindset, our attitude and relationship to money. Okay. And so, of course, that's a huge part. I started out at the top by saying that for all the fantastic millionaires and billionaires of this world that we know of, both locally and abroad, their money mindset is a key part of their success. It's not just about knowing what to invest in and when to invest, but it starts in the mind. It starts with how we see money. It starts with how we relate to money. Of course, we do not believe that money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of any sort of evil. There is a place and a time and a very useful purpose for it. So we're just gonna dig right into it. So I know Michelle is still working out because Michelle, I'm seeing you as speaker. Well, you're off mute now. Can you hear us? Let's see if we can hear you.
Hi, Carrie. I cannot hear very well, so I'm going to jump out again and I'm going to jump back in
Okay.
one last time. All right?
No problem. We are hearing you fine actually just now. So try again and let's hope, fingers crossed, that third time will be the charm.
Thanks.
Alrighty. So, Keisha, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with you, right? Because we had some preset questions in the lead up, because we kind of know based on conversations we have with our clients internally and conversations we've been following online, some of what's burning on our audience's minds, and let's jump right into it. So, of course, from where we sit, Keisha, we don't believe, or well, it is not believed that your money mindset has anything to do. Your money mindset has nothing to do with how much money you earn or how much money you actually have, right? But we'd love for you to start out and level set for us, Keisha, by helping us to understand what a healthy money mindset looks like in a practical way so that we can determine whether or not anybody listening needs to rev it up or adjust it accordingly. So what does having a healthy money mindset look like?
Yeah. So I would say healthy money mindset means that you're living in abundance and you are clear on what you want your money to do. So I will say it again. You are living in abundance, meaning you're not living in scarcity and you're pinching and you're not really living life to its fullest. But at the same time, you're also not sure about what your money can do or what you want your money to do. Money is a tool. It has to be put to work. Same like how you have to draw for the hammer, the screwdriver. You have to understand the role of money in your life and then use the money to do that. So what that looks like, and I can tell you my money mindset is I want to enjoy life with my family, right? Part of me having Profit Jump started so I can also be home with my son to be there for him as he grows up. Now, to do that, I have to make sure that I'm putting the right money, the right strategies in place so that I can be there with him. It don't mean that me and him will sit down in darkness because we're cutting back, but it means that I have to think about, all right, maybe I can put some investments on so I get the passive income so that I can be home with him. That's what it looks like. It also looks clear on my budget every month, right? Making sure I stick to that, making sure I'm clear what the money will do each month, and following up with the budget, knowing my money in detail, right? That's what it looks like. So if a person's here, I would say examine your life and the things that really speak to your heart, and you say, yeah, this is really what my life is about. This is what I want to spend my days doing. Do them, but the money also needs to be there to facilitate that lifestyle. And so you have to think then, all right, what kind of money habits do I need to put in place so I can follow my passion and my purpose? All right. That means I need to contact my advisor at JMMB and talk to them about certain types of products. Okay. That means I need to have a certain type of budget. Michelle will talk about the GPS. I swear I know all of the JMMB stuff. Michelle will talk about the goal planning session where you come and you talk with someone at JMMB about that as well. That's what it looks like, having a healthy money mindset. One where you are clear on what you want to do with your life, and one where you're clear on what you want the money to do for you. That's what I would say.
I got you on that, Keisha. And what I'm picking up with what you've shared, and I see Michelle is back, so we're going to check back in with her in a minute. But I just want to wrap with Keisha's question and then jump back to my original question for Michelle, and also give Michelle an opportunity to introduce herself as well. But one of the things I'm picking up for what you're sharing, Keisha, is just really what it's sounding like to me is the specificity of identifying what goal it is you want for yourself.
Yes.
Because what I've found is that, especially in a lot of the investment and wealth creation conversations, is that when you say to people, well, you okay, guys, what do you want to achieve? What's your goal? And the number one response is wealth creation. I want to create wealth for myself. And we're like, okay, that's a great and lofty goal, but what exactly do you want to do with that wealth? And as you
Mhm.
said, Keisha, there has to be a purpose to it. So is it that you want to use that wealth to buy a house? Is it that
Yes.
you want to use that wealth to get freedom of time and independence to spend it with your child, as you pointed out, as the reason for starting a business? Is it that I want to start a business? So I want to save up enough money, invest enough money to build up some starting capital to start up a business? Is it that I want to travel the world? You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
the specificity is great because it helps us to not only have a tangible goal in sight, which is motivating in and of itself, but it also gives us the opportunity to add some dollars and cents to the goal in terms of how much it's going to cost, what that's
Right.
going to look like from a budgetary perspective. And usually when you have that specific goal and you put the dollars and cents behind that measurement of the goal, it helps to set the groundwork of, okay, what plan do I need to put in place to get there? So that's what I'm kind of picking
Yes.
up from what you're saying, and I
And
love that,
then
as a level said.
no, and then on top of that,
Hmm.
having that number lets you know if you're falling off track of the goal. So that can
Absolutely.
happen as well. That life happens. I set this goal. I know this number, but the number not happen. In real
Exactly.
life, the number is not happening. So having clarity around that number helps you also to make adjustments because life is dynamic. You're gonna have to adjust your plan. but you can only adjust when you have that guidepost and you know, all right, this is the number I'm going to, like how they
Mhm.
talk in the olden days when people follow stars as instead of having compass. And so having that goal, that clarity helps you to know if you're off track, and you can get back on track to ultimately get into the goal.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And I love that. So, Michelle, let's see. Let's do a mic check for Michelle. Michelle, can we hear you now? Can you unmute? Let's see if we can hear you this time. Well, we heard you the last time. Don't know if you can hear us. Michelle. Okay, you're breaking up. We saw you on mute, but you're breaking up. Can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear now. Can you hear me now?
We're hearing you just perfectly. All right, wonderful.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Woo!
Good evening, everybody. Wildflower, Queen M, Romaine. What is it, Bang?
Man,
Sola,
some of these
Brandy, etc.
some of these handles, the way they're written, sometimes you wonder if you try to pronounce them, it's bad word you're going to cut. So be very careful.
Oh
But
gosh.
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us and again sticking it through. Again, we know Murphy's Law, but we're going to push through same way. Michelle, could you just start out and we're going to give you the opportunity to just real quick let everybody know who you are.
Let me tell you what value I give to your life rather than telling you what my whole title is, because that's one long,
Sure.
long title for a very short woman. What
Awesome.
I do is I help you to identify how to accomplish your seemingly most impossible financial dream. And then I educate you so that you can actually do it.
Mm, okay, I love that. I love that. Simple and straightforward.
Yeah, love it, Michelle. Love it.
And Michelle is awesome. Michelle is awesome. Every time we have Michelle on one of our lives, she's awesome. So, Michelle, let's just jump right into it because we had already gotten into the conversation with Keisha and there's a lot to cover. So, we had started off at the top, of course, talking about the importance of your money mindset. Um,
Mhm.
we recognize that as people, we would have been raised with a lot of misnomers about money. Money is the root of all evil. Of course, we dispel that long time. That is a lie. But we know for a fact that money doesn't grow on trees, unfortunately. But the point is we do have to work, we do have to work to get it somehow, some way, shape, or form, usually. And where there was a quote that I'm reminded of here, as part of our prep, where it says, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. You know,
Mhm.
and that statement is a version from a quote version of a quote from the late Henry Ford, very popular American. It actually speaks to your mindset because it's saying, look, before you even lift the hammer to start working, once you think you can or think you can't, you're already there. You're right, because you've kind of almost set yourself up for success or failure just based on your mindset. So,
Mhm.
Michelle, I'd love you in your level setting question. Could you share with us your answer to this question? Would you share with us what is the importance of understanding your money mindset in helping you to achieve your goals and build wealth? Because I guess maybe I know Keisha had started out by giving a nice level setting response, but there's still maybe some folks who think, boy, this money mindset thing sound like a airy fairy mumbo jumbo kind of thing. But I know and you've done it for yourself and you've worked with many people who you've supported along that path. How important is it in understanding importance of understanding your money mindset?
I think it's important for us to think about how important was you seeing Bolt's mindset to him becoming a living legend. That man
Mm,
believed he could. Even when everybody else was saying, what kind of foolish is this? Living legend, what is this man up to? This man dared to believe that he could. And it was his mindset that he took onto the track. And it was his mindset that caused him to say, all right, I am really tall and I'm going to be doing 100-meter dash, which is for somebody who is really short, but I can still do it. I'm going to beat these guys by a donkey length and the whole world is going to watch me do it. It was his
yes, yes.
mindset. It was, yes, of course, his physique, right? He's fast, right? But so many things about his physique were were diametrically opposed to what this man was going to be doing in a short distance race. But the man stepped out there with a mindset. And that mindset was so evident, the confidence that that man went on that track with, that he defeated so many people before he even went down into the blocks. So when
Love
we're
it.
talking about mindset, we just have to think about how you're saying, right? And so let us now apply that same thing to money. And belief is what he had. And belief kills, and belief cures.
That's right.
Well, belief can make you wealthy, or belief can make you poor. So let us think about it as 4 steps. There is believing, then the doing, because the believing lead to the action, The believing that you see in had is what took him to say, okay, I'm going to do a particular rep every single day, no matter how hard it is. I'm going to throw up after, but here I'm going to still push through, right? So it led him to be doing certain things. What is your belief leading you to do? Then the doing is going to cause you to be networking in a different way, because you're going to now be seeking out persons who are of a like mind as you.
Yes.
If we're poor enough, we're seeking out persons unknowingly, mental bracket that we're in, pay that we're in, everything the same bracket, right? None can help the other. But when we are doing things that are different, we naturally start to seek a new network where they start to seek us. I said, come on, come over here. Let's talk about XYZ. You find yourself being invited into all kinds of things. Wealth club, this, that, and the other. And so the believing leads to the doing, that leads to the networking, and all of that leads to the having, which is the outcome. And you see, when you get an outcome that is different from what you used to get, you say, my goodness, but this thing work, man. And what it does is it now cements the belief. And now you start to believe for more. And it leads to a new set of doing again, right? Leads to new networks, leads to new having, and it cements belief again. So therefore, it's not mumbo jumbo. It's not mumbo jumbo. You look at anybody who is defeated, they got defeated in their minds first. It was a believing. They started believing defeat, and then they were.
Love it, Michelle. Love it. Because
Yeah,
again, we
I want jumping on that. That one it hit me, Michelle. That one there, it really hit me because
yeah,
it is
man.
true. Because I remember when we started, I was saying I grew up poor, I never have anything. And for me, if I stuck with that mindset, say, boy, you're born poor, you're gonna get poor, and you just stay there,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been the story of my life. It would have just been a life of constant struggling, trying to pinch things together, trying to, give have water. Where is that what basket for carry water? Just nothing would come together. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
mindset. I said to myself, look here, I want to achieve a different outcome. I can't leave this world the same way I come into it. I want to
Mm-hmm.
experience nice things. I want the nice things. Why I only can watch nice things on TV? Why I can't live it in real life? And so I started searching for answers about how do I get these nice things? How do I get them legally? Because I say, I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
the illegal route. We're not
Very
going
important.
there. So how do I get these things legally? What do I need to do? All right,
Mm-hmm.
investing is one way. All right, let me read more, let me study more, let me apply it. But it started with the belief that I want my life to be different. I can make my life different. So let me seek it
Mm-hmm.
out. And then the networking now, working in the financial sector, being around other people who were in finance, right? Managing money for pension funds, institutional clients, high net worth clients, and seeing the possibility and I say, well, I need to apply it. That's now the doing it. Let me apply it to my life. let me apply these same principles, and it brings now the having. So Michelle is 100% right. It is the story of my life. I have lived it. So what she's saying is true because that's what I have lived.
And similarly, ladies, because man, we're getting into this conversation, we still have so many more questions to come. Similarly, even if you weren't born poor, because you could be born middle class, you could even be born uptown and felt that money wasn't your problem. The reality is the mindset can also bring you down, or the
Mm-hmm.
mindset, or having the wrong mindset will not keep you where you need to be. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so that's where it's so important. I think that's the big point, is that again, it's about your mindset, and it's about how you see yourself, and how that belief drives particular behaviors. I mean, Keisha, you started to talk about, I'm going to bounce back the next question to you, then head back to Michelle. Because Keisha, you speak a lot about having an abundance money mindset, and you,
Yeah.
because partly because, not only because of your experience, but because of all the people you've been working with over the years, in the formal financial sector, yes, but now even in your own business, and coaching and so on, you believe that anybody can be financially free, and I think that's a bold kind of a
Yeah.
statement. So
Everybody.
could you kind of dig a little bit into your own journey and how your mindset got you to where you are? I know you started to speak about it just now.
Yeah. So I believe everybody can be wealthy. It is not hard. It is not hard. It is not hard. This why I know it is not hard is because so many people have done it. And so if they can do it, why can't I do it? I They don't possess any superpower that I don't have. So if they can do it, I can do it. I just need to do what they did. And so abundance comes in there in terms of believing I can as well. I feel empowered to do it. So I can do it too. My own journey when being in the sector around other people and seeing pension funds grow in value, seeing high net worth clients grow, seeing average persons coming in because JMMB's history is built on the average person coming in, products being there for them, and those persons over time, I say a little man come in, 2 year, 3 year, then I see him start driving to come. And I say, wait there. It is working. It is working for him. And so once you see the possibilities and you have to apply it, you have to do, you have to implement. That is really what unlocks all of the potential when you start
Yeah.
implementing it in your life and you learn. You're going to have stumbling blocks. It's not an easy road, as they say,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
you will learn. And as you
And we're gonna
learn,
get,
you get better.
absolutely, and we're gonna get into some of those, Keisha, because that's gonna be like a spin off to my next question to Michelle, because we want to dig behind what some of the blocks could be. Because the thing is, Keisha, so first of all, I just wanted to again break it down for folks. You don't even have to work in the financial sector as a Keisha or Michelle did to get the knowledge or to
Right.
start to change behaviors. And I think this platform that we're on right now, which is Twitter, is an awesome platform with awesome content creators who are spitting out very valuable nuggets that people can log into. I mean, I know David Rose, for instance, has been on one of our spaces in the past, and David, as an example of just one of the many people on Twitter who is spilling out very valuable information, and people can log on to conversations like this free of cost from wherever you are, and just take in knowledge, and I think that's powerful and very empowering. But Michelle, I know that in your journey as a financial advisor, and you've spent years, of course, advising and educating people about their money, I know there's some blocks that you find that people have, that you see people have over the years. Could you say what the most popular mental blocks are and what people can do to overcome them? I think that would be very valuable to know for us right now.
All right. So the ones that I would say I hear a lot is that rich people are crooks. That one is a big one.
Hmm.
I cannot understand how anybody who believes that all rich people are crooks would really want to become rich. How could you really want to become rich?
Good point.
And
Interesting.
so what happens is that we really sabotage ourselves, and that is what we really believe. So instead, it becomes important to find the information necessary to change the narrative. So when I started working at JMMB, um, there was this particular client who, when I looked at the portfolio, I called the systems department and said, "Oh my goodness, the client is going to be coming in and there's a huge error." They said, "What's the problem?" I said, "Well, look, shadow my machine, shadow it quickly." They're looking, "Michelle, what's the problem?" I said, "Look at the amount of money the person has. Something is wrong with the system." They said, "What is wrong with the system?" I said, "Can you call that amount of money?" "No." I said, "That's a problem." I said, "Something is wrong with the system." They said, "Michelle, that's a man's money." Right? I'd never seen that kind of wealth in my life. I then started asking those clients, "What's the secret to your wealth?" And I realized that many of them were not crooks. As a matter of fact, I never met one that was a crook. They were engaging in good money management principles. So they were not just listening to what should be done, they were actually taking action and doing. And so they were having a different result than other persons were. So get the information that is necessary for you to change the narrative that you have. So that one there, all rich people are crooks. We have to get rid of that thought pattern totally.
All right.
Another one is coward man keeps on bone, which means that we don't want to take any risk at all. So what we're gonna do, just save and save and save. Saving and investing are two different things. Investing means that you're going to be taking money, which is a tool, and you can be purchasing an asset. The asset's value can increase in price, can decrease in price, but you want to make sure that you're purchasing good assets, right? That should appreciate within the time period that you need for your goals achievement. But if all you're going to be doing is saving, because saving is just you put your money down and as soon as you come for the money, the financial institution will give it to you. You don't even beat inflation, so you're really losing, It's a risky game anyway. Any way you want to take it. But it is just that because people
Mm.
still see the amount of money. You put in $100,000 5 years ago, you go to the financial institution, see 100,000 plus, let's say you see $1,000 in interest. And you say, whoopee. But how much did you lose in terms of inflation? That $100,000 5 years ago is not the same $100,000 now. The $100,000 is now worth less. So this thing that's a coward man keeps on born. It's not necessarily true. You're losing anyway. So therefore,
Mm.
it is important to know change the narrative and realize that people who are wealthy take calculated risks. And every rich person has lost. Every rich person has lost, they'll tell you. But it is that sometimes they will take short-term losses in order to get long-term gains. And when they lose, they don't lose a lesson. Don't lose a lesson. But so many times we're so afraid of losing, we don't learn a lesson in terms of
Yeah.
how to invest better, etc. Right? We just say, okay, staying away from that one.
Mm-mm.
And there is another one that I want to say, which is that I just don't understand this money thing, and I'm just not good at this money thing. And
Mm-mm.
so you're not good at it, but don't you have a brain you can learn, don't? You
Yeah, man.
someone learn 2 plus 2, right? And when you were learning the 2 plus 2, it probably was not so simple, but you keep at it and you become consistent. And then what happens is that the learning starts to compound. And the learning compounds only if all we're doing is just taking in the theoretical thing. We come on to Twitter Spaces, listen to Keisha and Michelle and Kerry, and then we go home and we do nothing at all about it tomorrow. Then it would have been a waste of time. But here you are. And why you are here, I believe, is because you believe that it is possible for you to achieve your goals. That's why you're here. You want something different in your life. And so, how do
Mm-hmm.
you overcome the negative beliefs? You're going to find yourself in spaces where those negative beliefs can be nullified with new knowledge and new action. That's what you're going to do. So, it's action, right? Not a
Yep.
bergamot. Action.
That's right, girl. That's right. That's right. And I love the way you ended on that, Michelle. So, we're knocking out some of these debilitating beliefs, right? So, rich people are crooks. No, we mashed that down. Coward man keeps
Some
on
of them,
bone. We
but not
mashed.
all of them. Not all of them.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And we
you
have
know,
poor people who are crooks too. You know, we have poor people who are
absolutely.
crooks. So it's not as though because you know you're poor, you're not going to be a crook. Sometimes you have more poor crooks because you
Trying to
are
survive, trying to
trying to
survive.
survive. Exactly.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
Terry.
Right, so we're mashing down just the broad brush generalizations that, again, as you say, create a crippling mindset. So, if we believe that all rich people are crooks, then what we're sometimes doing is we're probably self fulfilling prophecy that you ain't gonna get rich, right? So, recognize that there is a legitimate way, there are many legitimate ways to grow wealth and to get
Mm.
rich. Coward man keeps on bold, we're mashing that down as well because there is a role for risk taking. You just have to be wise about it. You're not going to be reckless. You're going to be wise and recognizing there is a role to take risks to build wealth. And what's the last one you dropped there a while ago, Michelle?
The last one is I just don't understand this money thing. I can't
Right.
understand this money thing.
Right. And that's the thing, because I think it's a great segue into the next question, Keisha, for you that we have, because a lot of people kind of get what we sometimes call investor paralysis or sometimes even analysis paralysis, because you have some people who go in and they're joining all the spaces them and them and listen to David or them listening to Randy or them listening to Kalila, and they may even take the courses and listening to the conversations and watching all the videos, but they're not necessarily doing what it takes to step in and get into the game, as it were, and so they miss out on opportunities. So I kind of call it a state of paralysis. How do you recommend that folks, anyone who is listening or anyone supporting someone who has that sort of a mindset that's holding them back, how do you recommend they overcome this, Keisha?
Yeah, so the paralysis is real because there's a lot of information out there. There really is. And with so much information, a lot of times it's easier to just do nothing until you figure it out, or you wait for somebody to tell you. So, what I would say, baby steps, baby steps. Doing anything is better than doing
Mm,
nothing. Doing anything is better than doing nothing. So, you're going to start small. And then over time, as your confidence and your knowledge builds up, you can take bigger steps. So when you're just starting out as an investor, because we all know we need to invest, we all know it's the way to go. But we're going to take baby steps. Same like you go to the beach and you put your little toe in the water first and you feel the temperature, then all right, you can slowly dip in. So what you want to start doing then is all right, let me start with possibly products that are done for you. These are products where a professional managing it for you, but your money is invested. And while you're doing that, your money will grow because a professional helping you to grow the money. You're putting the money into those types of products. Somebody who understands it more than you is doing the work. Over time, as you keep educating yourself, you're watching the videos out there, you're doing the courses if that's what you're doing as well. You can say, all right, let me try to do it for myself. Let me buy some stocks. Let me try it. You start with what you know. Baby steps still, and you keep going. Over time, you're going to become more confident. But same as, yeah. Oh, Michelle.
okay. No, I
Oh,
think it's a vibration from the phone, so continue.
yeah. So same as if you're just starting at the gym. You start and you just go to treadmill for 10 minutes because you're just a try, you're trying a thing, you just a start. After the 10 minutes, you start the 15 minutes. Same with investing. Let me start with the done for you. Let me start by giving my money to a professional person to manage on my behalf. I know that it's being managed well. Over time, I can slowly add to that, right? I can add to that money and I can possibly start buying some stocks for myself. The beauty these days is that information is there. So as you start investing and somebody managing for you, you can start saying, well, I noticed this with this investment. I wonder if this little part of it working good. I wonder if I try this for myself. Will it work? Let me ask my advisor what they think. Let me see what is out there. and you go. You are gonna get good, because the doing will bring the confidence, and the confidence will bring more doing, which will bring more confidence, that will bring more doing. It's called the compound effect. It works with your money, and it also works with your efforts. The more you do, the more confidence you will build. But you have to start. You can't sit down on the sidelines and watch everybody else
Yeah,
have money but you. You have to start.
yeah. And when you talk about those startup products, Keisha, you're talking about things where you say other investment managers are managing it for you. You're
Right.
talking about things like unit trust and mutual funds,
Exactly.
right?
Right. And JMMB has
Mm-hmm.
a ton of those, a lot of them that are really good performers. So you speak with your advisor about the different products that are there, and you start putting in your money consistently, not just set it and forget it. You put it in consistently, and you go over time. But you have to start.
Yeah,
That's what kick
yeah.
off the compound effect, the starting.
Yeah, because I think that's an important point to raise, Keisha, because I think what happens is because a lot of people, there are people who A, don't start, or people who don't know how to start, or they start incorrectly. And I'm glad you raised the point about things like unit trusts and mutual funds, because I know sometimes those solutions will get knocked quite a bit because they're like, well, what was the returns of those funds versus if you had gone straight into the stock market itself? And I do appreciate that is a thing, because that's the reality of it. There are certain individual stocks that have performed better or have been performing better over the years than some unit trust or mutual funds, right? That's a given. But I like the fact that you raise it because I think there's a role for each type of investment. And for some people, they need a unit trust or a mutual fund if it's even to have a portion of their portfolio, or as you say, as a start, as they get their feet wet, as they understand how investing works, so that once they feel more comfortable, then they can certainly now start to now get into the thing where they say, okay, they're going to start buying stocks outright. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you
Yeah.
raised it because there's a role for different types of investments. And if to start out you need to get into a unit trust because you don't quite understand the stock market yet, then go right ahead and do that, because it's better
Yes.
you start there than don't do nothing and as you say, you sit on the sidelines and you're not earning anything.
And then
So,
you have to be
hmm
careful who you listen to. You have to
yes.
be careful because a lot of times people say, "Boy, I don't want to know because somebody tell me say this happened." And I've seen
Mm,
a lot of person. I was doing a live last week and somebody said that, somebody tell me say this, so I didn't do it. Always
yeah.
when you get advice, qualify the advice. When somebody
Mm-hmm.
says something to me, I'm gonna say, "Who? All right, how do you know that?"
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
have to be in a better position than me to give me advice. I'm not listening to you if you don't. If you're not in a better position, don't talk to me. Take advice
Mm-hmm.
from people who have experience. One of the best lessons I learned when I just left university, the person said to me, "Don't take advice about buying a house from a homeless person." The person has to
Mm,
have the house and they can tell you how to buy the house because they have a house or houses. It is important.
mm,
And a lot of people take advice from your friend, your BFF. I love you, girl. We've been through it. But your friend is not the person to give you financial advice. Seek advice from
mm,
somebody who has the expertise.
mm.
Right? There's a
Important.
reason any advisor I forgot through training. I know because I had to do it when I was in the bank. You have to go through training to understand the financial world and the financial products. They are the persons who you must listen to. Not somebody who they watch a show or they see something on YouTube or them did read something one time in a one paper. So you don't listen to those persons. So with all
Mm,
due respect, thank you for your information, my friend. I love you, but you know what? I'm gonna go and ask the advisor.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I love that point too. And the point is kind of, as I like to say, calibrate with all the different sources as well. Because normally what I find too is that if everybody who knows the right information and is trained and is knowledgeable have it, then everybody is going to be singing the same Sankey. You know what I mean? So let's say there is somebody who said, boy, Grace Kennedy is an awful stock to buy, ever, right? Suppose hypothetically somebody says that, and you are listening to that, and you say, well, all right, me not buy no Grace Kennedy. But when you stop and you're listening to all the analysts, all the pundits who talk about Grace Kennedy as a solid Jamaican company, proven track record, not going anywhere, and they're saying that Grace certainly has a place in a portfolio for these reasons, you need to start questioning. You can say, well, so how come this person? But a thousand Frenchmen can't be wrong, especially if those Frenchmen are trained and have the knowledge and have the experience and have the certification. I think it's very important to be able to plug into that, Keisha. I'm glad you raised that point. Michelle, I'd love to hop back over to you because kind of, I guess, tangential to what we were just discussing with Keisha, Mish, is that sometimes too, so paralysis is one thing that happens where people kind of sit on the sidelines and they don't necessarily jump in. But we also have situations where people may get burnt. You know what I mean? They may have some debilitating financial experiences or perhaps made some mistakes in the past. And when of course nobody is perfect. So we have people who may have gone through situations where they racked up a lot of credit card debt or other debt, or they made some poor purchasing decisions or bad investment decisions and lost a lot of money. Jamaica land we love, we've seen lots of those instances, and some of us unfortunately fell prey to them. Those of us who are old enough remember the Olins and the cash pluses of this world. But the reality is, once there's life, there's hope, and you can always turn around and rebound. There's always that opportunity. And I'd love to know, Michelle, for those of us here who are listening who would have suffered from financial mistakes or executed them in the past and probably not only are paralyzed but maybe lacking in confidence, how can persons rebound from those mistakes, Michelle, so that they too can transform their mindset to create a better future for themselves and get back on track again?
You know, I understand how debilitating it can feel. It's not as though I have not made any mistakes. I've made mistakes, but I feel that I fail fast. You see, when you fail fast, you can get up and you learn quickly. Because the important thing is you're going to learn the lesson and you're now going to utilize it for the rest of your life. So for all the people who have failed fast, congratulations, right? You've made a mistake already. Now you need to forgive yourself and move on. And I know that forgiving ourselves, it sounds easier, right, to hear it than to actually do it, right? Everything is easier said than done, but it can be done, right? So, let me tell you, my foolishness, where I got myself into a pickle is that I bought a liability that I could not afford. It was a car. I was trying to fake it till I made it,
Oh, wow.
rather than be it to achieve it.
All right. Confession is good for the soul, Michelle. Thank you
Very
for
good for the
sharing.
soul.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
And I'm going to say it again because I know somebody needs that to be repeated. I was trying to fake it till I made it rather than be it to achieve it. The being it means that in order to be it, you need to change your beliefs. The way that I changed my beliefs was that I now started applying lessons learned from financial books, from gurus, from wise people, right? And so, for example, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I didn't just buy it and put it down. I read it and applied the lessons. How to Fix the Money Thing by Gary Kissy, I think it is, right? And then you know which book I love, 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 love? The book of Proverbs. Yes, the same one in the Bible. Yes, the same one in the Bible. It speaks to wealth and how to obtain wealth. And there's so many other scriptures that speak to that. And that is what I had to know. Let sink into my soul and transform the way in which I was thinking. And then the thinking, of course, would lead to the doing, the networking, and the results that I would have had, right? The having. And as a matter of fact, there are so many other sections of the Bible that speak about wealth. And I will say that that is where I immersed myself. Another thing that you can do, apart from learning from the financial books, is apply wise counsel from financial experts who have walked the walk. not just talk about it. So, like, for example, Keisha is talking and you recognize that she has a lot of experience and stuff. Listen to what Keisha is saying. But more than listen, do it now. Do it. You're listening to me talk. Write down this. So, action. Action. Get a pen and paper or something and write this down. Write down this blog, JMMB, Dollars and Good Sense. We have so much great information there that is going to support you in changing your money mindset. Some of them are quizzes that you're going to do so you can understand where you are and what you need to do in order to move. Every month we put out a brand new article. Most of them would have been written by me, about 90%, right? And each month, go into it and read something new and do the action that it is asking you to do. Let us read it for its sake. Pass it on to someone else, the friend that you want to bring along with you, and you guys discuss it. You're sitting down, you're talking about all kinds of stuff in the lunchroom and stuff. Now that we're back face to face working. Take one of the articles, discuss it with your colleagues. There's no point in everybody being broke and popped down. Many people earned good money in COVID times. It was not a bad time for everybody. It could have been a great time for you. Teach what you have learned. You see, if you really want to cement a lesson, teach it now. But let me, hey, listen to this now, right? If you want transformation, it starts with irritation about your situation that grows into an agitation in your soul.
Michelle, you're done with preaching. Repeat. Start again.
Lord have mercy. Man, can't repeat it so good enough because it's flowing from me, okay? Let's see. Transformation starts out with irritation about your situation that grows into an agitation in your soul. So that you find the information that challenges your thinking, which forces an eruption into a new set of actions. And your actions will change your relations with others. And your destination will be financial freedom.
And we're recording this session, guys, so don't worry, you'll be able to go back and listen. But Michelle, yeah, preach it this evening, man.
Woo! Yes.
You are preaching it. But Michelle, you're also giving me some homework too. Because what you're saying we need to get off our butts and do the reading and do the homework and do the talking and do the research, eh?
Yes, and it's not just you, Kerry. Wildflower, Mario, D, Queen M, Satoru, Romaine, Gianna, Alex, Mimi,
First
I
Global.
Chrissy, First Global, Keron, Rods, Pineapple, is you are talking to? Yes, Pete, you to Emma, I think I was going to call your name, and LaShawn, and Alex, and some other names I can't really call. David Lee.
I tell you, be careful with them Twitter handle, you know, be careful. Mm-hmm.
Sena, Christine, Janet, Roxy, Dwayne, come on, man, Gary, Janai. Remember to Google that Dollars and Good Sense blog, you know, right? We're not going to leave you without the homework to do. Fall 3, Fall 3 none. Deirdre, Gladstone, and a whole host of other persons listening. I'm talking to you. You're not here because you can't find anything else to do on a good Wednesday evening. You're here because you're hungry. But no, don't just come and listen. Do. And tomorrow, don't make tomorrow pass and, call JMMB. And it is not that I come on to hard sell, but if we're talking about action means you're going to take the steps, right? If you want the change, that transformation requires action. Call tomorrow. So this is where I am and this is where I want to be. Let's sort you out.
Love it. So
Yeah.
Michelle, we can't leave you hanging. We are going to take up that charge. But we're coming down to time, guys, and I have a couple questions left. And again, guys, this session is being recorded, and of course, our channels will be open. If you have any questions, you can DM us for sure after this session is over. I know these ladies, they are available even on Twitter, or you can DM JMMB directly. We'll get the responses to you. But Keisha, jumping back over to you, obviously, based on your background and your experience, and you would have shared with us, you've managed billions of dollars for folks, US dollars at that. We're not playing.
Billions with a B.
Billions with a B of US dollars, girl. You have managed it, so you know the thing. What is the money mindset that, in your view, the ultra rich had in common? So you were managing money for all these big money people. So plebs like me and perhaps a lot of the folks listening, we only read about the ultra rich when you write about them in the Glean or Time magazine or whatever. But you would have been speaking with them directly because you manage their portfolios. What is the common mindset trait or traits, if there were more than one, that you saw where all of them have in common? Because I think that's rich information that I think average folks like me and some of the folks listening could take as learnings from this discussion as we get close to the ending.
Yeah. So one of the main thing I've observed, and this is rich people across any country, any jurisdiction, any language, any ethnicity, they all have one common trait of growth. They're always thinking about expanding their business, expanding their family, expanding their lifestyle. They're always in that growth and expansion mode all the time. Even when we manage the portfolios and I'd go to them and say, this was the return. They say, all right, Keisha, this is great. How can we make it better? What can we do? They always are in that mindset of growth and abundance. If we're talking about the portfolios and they say, all right, I need to put more contribution, let's do it. I need to do this, let's do it. The growth and the willingness. A lot of times what hold us back is we're not in the growth mindset. So we say, boy, yeah, me not really want to have someone, boy, me not know. And we're not in the willingness. If I say, well, it's gonna require you to put $100 a month into your account, let's set it up. A lot of times people say, the only boy, but that means I have to go stop eat here, so and that mean I can't go here. And me have to do my nails every week. So yeah. And they find the excuses and the excuses. When we shift ourselves into that, I am always willing, I will always do this, and I'm always looking and seeking for growth. Best believe the growth will come. Growth will come because that's what you're always seeking. My mother always tell me, whatever you look for, you're gonna get it. Whatever you're out there seeking for, you will get it. So let that be growth. Let that be abundance. How about we try seeking that? Because that's what we're gonna get. That's my 2 cents on it, Kerry. Growth, abundance, having a willingness. You have to take action. You have to step out.
Growth, abundance, and having a willingness. I guess what you said, step out, taking risk is what I'm picking up.
But calculated it's not all. It will involve some risk sometimes, but it's something as simple as, all right, we need to increase our contributions. You want to buy that fifth house, sure, because this is what they'd be thinking. All right, I'm not okay with 5 houses, I want a sixth one. All right, that means we need to do X. Okay, let's set it up. For us, average people want to say, well, I want to buy that first house. I want my dream house. I want a dream car. I want to send my kids to college. I want to take a
Mm.
vacation. I want to have extra passive income every month. All right, this
Mm.
is what you need to do. I want everyone to be willing to take those steps because that's what really will bring us to the goal, the willingness and having that growth mindset.
Got you. Got you on that. And I think that's important to know because, as we said, there's a mindset that people with money who have either acquired it or even if they acquired it because of themselves by the sweat of their own brows or they inherited it and maintained it, there is a mindset that they have. And I think it's very important to have. Ladies, I think that this has been a great discussion. I know we're at time, but I just wanted to wrap with two questions. And let me just pull them up here. Well, it's really one question, and I'm going to ask the question to each of you, and I'm going to ask Michelle to start off. And the last question, Michelle, I'm going to route it to you and then ask the same question of Keisha is for you personally, Michelle. So you would have shared with us, obviously, you had made your own mistakes in the past. And over the years, you've learned, you've been trained, you've been working with clients. And I know that you have your own personal money philosophy as it pertains to money. What is your own personal philosophy that guides you in your investing journey and your money management and growth journey?
Carrie, I'm going to answer that question, but I beg you, I need to say something about the other one first.
Go on, darling. Go on. Go
All
on.
right. One of the money mindsets is that the wealthy people don't call themselves plebs. They don't think that word about themselves at all. And I know I'm joking you, but I want us to take it out of our consciousness to call ourselves, I'm just a little investor. I'm just a little. No,
Mm,
take it
I'm
out.
guilty of that.
It is so a natural part of what we say. But remember that it is from the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. And so that's what we believe. And if that's what we believe, then it's gonna guide everything else in our lives. It's gonna guide what we do, the relations we have, and the having, and it's gonna cement the belief, right? Okay. So to the question now about what money philosophy guides my investing. It would be that
Yes.
things will never be perfect, but take the calculated risks. And one way of doing so is by diversifying. And where I got it from, yes, I know that financial gurus always talk about it, but believe it or not, it is from Ecclesiastes 11. And I'm going to quote it. I'm going to quote verses 1, 2, and 4. It says, send your grains across the sea, and in time, profits will flow back to you. But, so it's saying involve yourself in trade, in things that actually turn money, right? But divide your investments among many places, for you do not know what risks lie ahead. That's diversification. Farmers who wait for perfect weather never plant. If we watch every cloud, they never harvest. And so,
Mm,
from the word of God, because I'm a Christian, right? I take most of my money philosophy, investment philosophy from the Bible. So if we want to talk about diversification, see the management of risk, seat right or so. Talking about the fact that even when things are not perfect. So yeah, in COVID time, you know how much people make money when the stock market fell? And that is when we're actually purchasing stocks. Yeah, yeah. So things will never be perfect. Take calculated risks and diversify. That's what I live by.
love it. Love it. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks so much
Yeah.
for sharing and being candid and open. And I'm going to, of course, have the same. Keisha, could you answer the same question as we wrap this evening, Keisha? What's your own personal money philosophy that guides you?
Yeah, there's a song. I think I have an old heart, you know. So there's a song I really like. One of the main things is my living shall not be in vain. My living
That's it.
Mm,
shall not be in vain. I am not here to just sit on one side and just pass through life, just a look. I am going to live an abundant life. I'm going to live a full and rich life. And I am going to help others to do the same. Because as much as I know I will, pass on that information and that knowledge and push others to implement as well. This is how my living will not be in vain. If I know, you are going to know, and if I'm doing, you're going to do. And I cannot come into this world a certain way and leave the exact same way with no impact. That then would mean my living was in vain. I waste my time. But just sit down and just a look and life pass me by. That is not what I'm about. My living shall not be in vain. And I apply that with my money, I apply that with my family, I apply that with business. My living shall not be in vain.
Love it.
Mm.
Thank you so much. Ladies, yes, I know we're a little over time, guys, but we couldn't leave this conversation. We had to see it right through to the end. And thank you so much. I think sometimes we need these kinds of discussions. I know sometimes a lot of the time we love to be like, okay, well, we want to log on when we know which stock to buy. We want to get those tips, and strategy and planning and execution is very, very important. But we also believe it's very important to start with the mindset as well, because sometimes, a lot of the times, and we believe perhaps even all the time, it's the mindset that creates or debilitates the behaviors that are needed to make wealth creation successful for individuals. And so it's very important that I think these conversations happen, and I'm glad that JMMB was able to bring it to you guys tonight. Of course, this session was recorded, guys, so if you missed anything up the top, you can catch it. Catch the recording. It will be available here on the Twitter platform right after. We also try to make it available on YouTube in the coming days. So for anybody who don't have Twitter and can just easily get a YouTube link, follow us, JMMB Group Jamaica's YouTube channel, to get it. The previous sessions were there. Been having some great sessions over the last month and change. So check those out. And we'll see you again next time. Continue to follow us for the latest and when our next spaces is going to be, what our next topic is going to be. And again, thank you, Keisha. Thank you to Michelle as well for joining me for this great conversation. Thank you for your nuggets as usual. And we'll catch you guys next time for another great conversation. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye.
Good
And
night,
thanks.
everybody.
And thanks again to the JMMB marketing team, as always, who makes these things happen. So have a great evening and rest of the night, guys, and take care. Stay safe.